Here too. So now we're going to head into sort of what was the wild, wild west of string music playing, actually all music playing. So the classical period, so Haydn and Mozart, so they were exact contemporaries. Haydn lived like bookended Mozart because Mozart lived so short a time period. But you know that first violin, second violin, viola, cello, the bass was kind of an afterthought, but that was really, everything in classical music really followed that kind of format. So you had four lines. But in the Baroque period, especially like middle and early Baroque, there you would see all of these different pieces written off 6, off 5, 7, 10, and really it even goes back to Elizabethan times. So if you think of, there's a song called Sfenenalium, which, so Thomas Tallis' sort of like crowning achievement. He wrote a 40-voice piece, so it was just like it was sort of a free-for-all. There wasn't a standard format. So this piece has 6 voices. So what you need is that the violas are split up. So it's written in the piece. So the music that we have, the viola 1 is written in treble clef. So we have one fearless viola 1. And then also David's going to be playing the viola 1 part, but there's 6 different parts. So, and then the cello part, and then there's a basso continuo part. So you'll see the different parts sort of like come to the fore. So this is a chaconne, and as you saw in the program notes, maybe you know how in the late 19th century there was this fascination with Orientalism and sort of pulling things from the Far East. So in the Baroque period, everyone was pulling from sort of the New World in the Americas, and the chaconne was one of those pieces. And it has, what it's typified by is this sort of recurring bass line. So you may be familiar with the Bach chaconne for unaccompanied violin, and it just has this descending line. And it just goes on and on and on, and so it of its very nature is sort of repetitive and boring. And so what you'll hear is the composer working with that framework in order to make it interesting. And so what you'll hear is this thing that's continuously happening again and again, but it's how he makes it interesting by changing the textures, going from major to minor, back to major again, going from square notes to triplet notes. And so it's really sort of a composer's way of showing off. So this is around the same time that the La Folia variations were happening. So it's a famous tune. If you have a Suzuki violinist in your family, I'm sure you've heard it. So hopefully you will be impressed with Brescianello, who no one has heard of, and you'll take his name home and look him up because this is a wonderful piece. This is the Chaconne A6. I don't know how to say 6 in Italian, but it would be said in Italian because he was Italian. So this is the Chaconne by Brescianello.